A warm evening to everyone present here for the SEPT at 360-degree Skill Enhancement Program for the teachers. We are very glad to have you all for the National Level Faculty Development Program organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cells of Stella College of Education, Chennai and Sri Vidya College of Arts and Science, Virudhunagar in celebration of Teachers' Day 2024. It's a moment of extreme pleasure to welcome our head of the institution, a genuine leader and the ever jubilant Dr. Mrs. Joseph Catherine, the principal of Stella College of Education, to deliver the welcome address.
Yes. A very good evening to one and all from Stella Matutina College of Education and Sri Vidya College of Arts and Science. The art of teaching is the art of assisting discovery, says Mark Van Doren. Reverend Dr. Sister Ruby Alangara Mary, Secretary of Stella Matna College, Tiruvengada Ramanuja Das, Chairman of Sri Vidya College of Arts and Science, Principal Dr. M. Ganesan, Coordinators Dr. Mangai and Dr. Sanjay Lakshmi, and esteemed participants, a very warm welcome to you all. I am pleased to welcome you to the 5-day seminar on September 360 degrees Skill Enhancement Program for Teachers from 2nd to 6th September. We are exhilarated to have such a diverse and passionate group of educators, researchers, and enthusiasts gathered here to explore and discuss the future of teaching. In today's rapidly evolving world, teaching is more than a profession. It is a transformative journey. Our goal for this seminar is to delve into the exciting possibilities that innovation brings to our classrooms and learning environments. We shall explore new methodologies, cutting-edge technologies, and creative strategies that can help us to engage students more effectively and foster a deeper love for learning. We are incredibly fortunate to have a lineup of speakers who are at the forefront of education innovation. Their expertise and insights will give insight into the invaluable perspectives and practical tools to enhance our teaching practices. This seminar is not only about absorbing knowledge but also exchanging ideas and sparking new ones. Let us embrace the spirit of curiosity and innovation that drives each teacher forward. Thank you for being here and for your commitment to improving education. Let us make this seminar memorable and impactful. Once again, a warm welcome to you all.
A great visionary who carries an aura of dignity and respect, signifying a high level of recognition, the one who acknowledges accomplishments with so much of admiration and reverence is none other than Reverend Dr. Sister Ruby Alangarameri, the Secretary of Stella Matna College of Education. I now humbly request you to render your felicitation for this program, Sister. Please.
A very good evening to everyone present here. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us be glad and rejoice in it. Once again, a very good evening and warm welcome to one and all present this Google Meet. Respected Chairman, Principal, Vice Principal of Sri Vidya College of Arts and Science, Virudhunagar, Dr. Catherine, Principal of Stella Matutina, all the faculty members of Sri Vidya College and Stella Matutina family, IQAC coordinators of both the colleges, academicians, research scholars, and various colleges, lecturers from various colleges. Once again, welcoming you all for this 5-day virtual national level faculty development program in celebration of Teachers' Day 2024. On this auspicious occasion, I stand before you with extreme pleasure on behalf of the Stella Matutina management. First and foremost, let me express my deep sense of appreciation to the IQAC coordinators, principals, and the enthusiastic conveners for arranging this 5-day FDP program for teachers. IQAC is a part of the institution's system and works towards realizing the goals of quality enhancement and sustenance. It plays a prominent role in developing a system for conscious, consistent, and catalytic improvement in the overall growth of an institution. It also helps to identify the hiccup points and foster the growth of the education system. In this regard, the IQAC of both the colleges takes special interest in the research and various development of their teaching skills. Teachers are indeed great multitaskers who are highly capable of balancing numerous roles beyond their core responsibility of educating their young generations. Their profession is extremely demanding and diverse to juggle between various roles. In an ever changing world where change is the only constant thing, it is essential to stay sharp, skilled, and agile. This program is tailored to recalibrate and reinforce your capabilities that boosts your overall efficiency. It emphasizes on refining and expanding their existing skills. This faculty development program is meant to enhance the skills of teachers and equip them with various strategies that facilitate a more interactive and productive teaching learning process in addition to advancing professional practices. The topics chosen for the FDP are relevant that focuses on the professional growth of teachers across various domains of education. The resource persons are best of the best in the industry who are dedicated teachers with vast experience. Take advantage of the professional development opportunities throughout your career and enhance your abilities to embrace new challenges and change your achievements in this competitive ecosystem. I appreciate your commitment to lifelong professional learning and upgrading your skills to create better outcomes for your young generation. Through this investment, you can remain positive, proficient, confident, and compliant in your teaching profession, which ensures that you are an asset to your organization. I am sure that this 5-day national development program will provide scope for all the participants to think, share, and plan strategies towards bringing out quality in education in our country. At this juncture, my special appreciation to both the college principals for their encouragement, IQAC coordinators, speakers, and my special appreciation to the seminar conveners, that is Dr. Mangai and Dr. Sandan Lakshmi. Once again, I thank and congratulate the entire team for their tireless efforts taken on this FDP program for teachers. My hearty wishes and prayers for the success of the program. May God bless you all. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sister. Thank you, sister, for your graceful blessings.
Thank you.
True leadership lies in guiding others to success, in ensuring that everyone is performing at their best, inspiring the team to be empowered. We have such an inspiring personality, Dr. M. Ganeshan, the principal of Sri Vidya College of Arts and Science, Virudhunagar. I now humbly request you to felicitate us, sir. Please.
The most honorable Secretary and Principal of Stella Mary College of Education, Chennai, and our respected Chairman of Sri Vidya College of Arts and Science, dedicated teachers of both institutions, IQC coordinator, and my friends. Good evening to everybody. Really, I am very happy to deliver the felicitation address for a virtual 5 days FDP on skill enhancement program for teachers on the eve of Teachers' Day 2024. We wholeheartedly thank the most respected Secretary Principal of Stella Mary's College of Education, Chennai, and our respected Chairman to provide permission for organizing jointly the IQC of former and later institution. Certainly, this seminar create awareness and refinement regarding the teaching and learning process in the field of education. The role of technology in modern education is significant. It provides online platform which help to the students for collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and problem solving skills. The success of the seminar depends on the assimilation and application of concepts discussed in the seminar by the resource person. I thank my special thanks to the organizer of the seminar, Professor Mangai and Sandam Lakshmi of
Thanks.
Stella Mary College of Education, Chennai.
Thank
Let
you.
us pray for the Almighty for the success of wonderful, useful, and a fruitful seminar. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for being so kind and appreciating our efforts. I am now happy to present an overview of our national level faculty development program, SEPT at 360-degree Skill Enhancement Program for Teachers, organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cells of Stella Matna College of Education, Chennai, and Sri Vidya College of Arts and Science, Virudhunagar, in celebration of Teachers' Day 2024. Devotion is when you hold the well-being of others above your own. We conceived this idea of faculty development program for teachers because we wanted to honor such dedicated teachers by providing a wonderful platform and build a community of skilled educators committed to lifelong learning, innovation, and academic excellence. This FDP has brought all dedicated and committed teachers right from primary education to tertiary education as one big family. We have created a set of resources to help you to be the best educator possible for your students. This is a time for you to revisit the essential knowledge and skills and also be updated on new standards to encourage collaboration across disciplines for a holistic and integrated approaches to in different departments and different teaching strategies. This program has been meticulously designed to give all the teachers a special set of skills needed besides strengthening their motivation and commitment for their teaching profession. The resource persons have been pulling out what is the finest from them and contributing to your professional standards. Now it is the time to introduce the resource person of the first day, Dr. Sister M. Irdia Mary, Assistant Professor of English, Stella Matna College of Education, who is going to enlighten us on teaching method, a paradigm shift. She is the Assistant Professor of Stella Matna College of Education. She has done her BA and MA in English Literature from University of Madras, her B.Ed and M.Ed from St. Xavier's College, MPhil in English Language Teaching from Lila College. She has cleared her NET in Education. She has also completed her PhD in Educational Psychology from Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University. Her teaching experience includes from 2001 to 2006, she has served as a principal at St. Joseph's Matriculation School from 2006 to 2009. She has served as the principal of St. Loreto High School at Bombay from 2011 to 12 as Assistant Professor of English in Lila College, and from 2012 to 2016 as Assistant Professor of English in Lila College of Education, Chennai, and from 2016 onwards, she's been working as Assistant Professor of English in Stella Matna College of Education. She also holds additional positions in Stella Matna College of Education as Placement Officer, Member Secretary of IQAC, Member Secretary of Planning and Evaluation Committee, Member of Editorial Board in the College Magazine, and the Indian Educational Researcher, the journal published by our college. She has also published 5 research articles in international journals and 12 in national journals. She has written 5 chapters in edited books, 42 articles in seminars and proceedings. She has so far guided 4 M.Ed scholars, 2 MPhil scholars, and at present she is guiding 4 PhD scholars. She has also organized a number of seminars and workshops. She has served as resource person on teaching methodologies, grammar without tears, teaching aptitude, and she has also served as a member of interview board at the Lilo College of Education. She has drafted coursework for B.Ed and M.Ed in English proficiency skills and entrepreneurship, positive psychology, and journal writing for the M.Ed and B.Ed students. Now, I hand over the session to such a renowned person, to Dr. Sister M. Irde Mary, the Assistant Professor of English from Stella Matutina College of Education, to take over the session. Over to you, Sister.
Thank you, ma'am. At the outset, I would like to thank Reverend Dr. Sister Ruby Alangara Mary, the Secretary of Stella Matutina College of Education, Dr. Joseph Catherine, the Principal, Dr. K. A. Shiba, the IQAC Coordinator, Secretary, Principal, and IQAC Coordinator of Sri Vidya College of Education, and the organizing committee for having given me the opportunity to reflect the thought on the teaching method, a paradigm shift. We live in a post-method era where we need to evolve a teacher-evolved method. Now, when we think about method of teaching, where we already exhausted a number of methods, we have come to share on, we live in digital era. I hope, excuse me, Mangai ma'am, is my PPT visible?
Yes.
Okay. It is visible.
So we live in an era where technology and internet, governs every one of our lives, and very specially, it has made a phenomenal change in the field of education and at every field. And ever since the independence of India, to begin with Dr. Radhakrishnan Education Committee in 1948, Kodari Education Committee from 1962, 64, 66, the National Education Policy in 1976, National Education Policy 1986 and 2000. Now, all these focus on quality enhancement at every level and at every segment of the education system, be it both in the school education system as well as higher education. Now we have come to discuss at this juncture, where we are governed by digital era, and the students who come to our classrooms are all digital natives. And people who were born, before 1995, we are known as immigrants to this digital world. So therefore, there's a big shift, a rift that exists. We need to bridge the rift so that to produce a quality students who would be the pillars of the society tomorrow. The Kodari Commission rightly, quotes or begins, the Education Commission begins with, the future of the nation is being shaped in its classroom. So when you shape a nation, the nation requires, quality personalities, people with a lot of skills, competencies, good aptitude, and things like that. And all this is being shaped by the classroom. So therefore, it is very significant at this juncture that we reflect on a teaching method, a paradigm shift. Okay, now let's discuss. Every one of us know what's a teaching method. Method is an overall plan for an orderly presentation of a teaching material. It is a very systematically planned method. Okay, as I said, we live in a post-method era. The methods have been exhausted, but still, the method helps a teacher and the students to teach and learn very systematically. And whatever teaching resources that we use, that does not contradict. This is what is given by Anthony in 1963, but it still holds a very significant aspect when it comes to teaching method. And what are the methods? We normally use the traditional method. Also, we live in 21st century in the digital world, but still we hold on to, be it in the school or in the college. We still are very comfortable. Also have got teacher-centered approach, where still teachers are considered as a depository or epitome of the knowledge. The students are considered to be, they come to the school or higher education to be imbibed with new knowledge. That is an ideology that we still hold on, although the reality does not depict that condition, we also follow rote memorization and direct instructions. Now, these are all called, traditional teaching methods, which have been exhausted, and which, if these methods have been used, it does not enable or help the students to be competent, to develop skills, appropriate skills for a particular field or of the discipline. So therefore, it is time for us to think and reflect what is the best aspect, and why is the traditional method is not up to the mark. What are the challenges that we face in using or implementing these traditional methods? Now, when we use this lecture method or direct method or rote learning method, there's lack of students' engagement. When the students are not actively engaged, uh, the outcome, the learning outcome results does not result in skill development or competency development. They may imbibe knowledge as a passive listeners, but in the long run, it does not imbibe or instill enthusiasm. It does not enable the students to have a right attitude and aptitude, and it does not design them to be fit for a particular post or for a particular job. Second aspect is limited critical and creative thinking. When we follow these traditional methods, they do not provide scope for critical and creative thinking, because the learners are highly passive in the regular classrooms. Only the teachers keep teaching using chalk and talk method. So therefore, there is no scope for critical and creative thinking, which is the need of the hour, which is highly demands of today's society and of the job opportunities that one needs to apply for. And there is something called one size fits for all. We choose one particular method thinking that one particular method will be suitable for all the 40 students who are seated in our classroom, which is in reality it is not so. You cannot, it does not, because students come with highly individual differences. So therefore, they have their individual differences. We need to, plan our method or strategies so that every individual student's need and scopes are filled in the classroom. They get benefited. And these traditional method focuses on reading, okay, hearing or seeing. According to Edgar Dale, cone of learning, the retention of memory after she or he, a learner listens, it's only 10% of what he or she reads they can retain, 20% of what he hears or she hears, and 30% of what one sees. But if you can combine all this, reading, hearing, listening, there is at least 50% of memory retention is there. But if a student is actively participates in a discussion, okay, the retention is 70%. A student, when he reads, okay, plans, discusses, does lot of reference, pools number of ideas with his friends, and he actually does it, then there is a 90% of learning retention taking place. So therefore, in the teaching learning process, this is what we are supposed to enable the students to meet the aspects. But in reality, it doesn't have. We also have, Bloom's taxonomy of education methods. In 1956, Bloom's gave this to the entire world. The educational objectives. What he stated, every child comes with the previous knowledge, and learning takes place with three domains. We normally think learning only takes place with cognitive level, but there is cognitive, affective, and psychomotor level. We have got three domains. Cognitive refers to the intellectual ability, where we use our mind to learn. A learner uses. Affective, you need to provide a conducive and applicable atmosphere for a learner to learn. Teacher has to be very kind. There is a lot of ventilation is in there, flowing big classroom where there is a lot of ventilation. There is, a good water facility or sanitary facility. And when the child does something, you appreciate the child for what he or he does. So So when you do that, okay, the affection is communicated, and then definitely there is a learning, because we are embodiment of physical, emotional, and moral and social ability. So therefore, and there's also another aspect, kinesthetic, affect, cognitive, affective, and psychomotor ability, where we use our body, our hands, for drawing or doing for conducting an experiment in the classroom or in the science lab, so learning takes place in three domains. Now look at this. In 1957, Bloom's gave it as this knowledge. He gave all this knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. These six state domains of learning, okay, subdomains of learning aspect. This is given it in noun form. Now, Bloom's candidate, scholar who became later on as one of his successors, and in 2001, Andrew Larenson, he changed the noun form into verb form. He said knowledge is equal to remember. You remember something. Suppose if I want to remember, when did I meet you? Or what is the date I wrote the exam? Only demands a lower level of knowledge. So remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. This is where he changed synthesis into creating and evaluation into evaluating. That is why we call it as, the changed Bloom's, revised Bloom's taxonomy, because any learning should reflect in creative outcome. The result should be of creating new knowledge, new ideas. So therefore, and if you look at it, remembering, understanding is a lower order of learning. Application and analysis is middle order. Synthesis, evaluating, or analyzing, synthesizing, creating becomes a higher order of learning. Now, when we use this traditional methods of in our classroom, we only address, lower order of learning, knowledge level, knowledge, comprehension level, and application. Very little application of only written aspect. What is being done in the aspect of creating new knowledge or skill oriented is completely forgotten. Therefore, there is a big demand today for a shift in the teaching learning process. So what are the factors that drive the paradigm shift? Why do we need it? In spite of, you may say, my friends, those of you who are listening to me, you would say, no, well, we all learned through chalk and talk method. Our lecturers or professors, taught us through lecturing method. Haven't we learned? But then there's let's keep in mind that we are still learning. We are learning to learn the students' abilities, because our students who come into the classroom come with knowledge, okay, with a lot of digital knowledge, with a lot of enhancement, with a lot of skill ability, or where it demands, there's a big demand of where you need, because of the technological advancement. Our students, the digital native students, those are born after 1995 or 2000, are known as digital natives. They come with a lot of digital knowledge than you and I honestly learned, a lot of things after becoming a professor, assistant professor of English, learned a lot of things from my students. Whereas today, when you meet a 5-year-old child or second standard child, he would know, how to handle a very smartphone or an interactive board or a whiteboard. Whereas we immigrants to this reality, we have learned it through hard way. So today, the traditional method cannot match the demands of the exhaustive knowledge that we have today in front of us at the click of keys, because of this technological advancement. So therefore, we need a shift. There is new pedagogical research and insights. Number of research have been done on methods, strategies, techniques, programs, okay, enhancement, and teachers evolve their own method today to suit the need of the every child in the classroom. That has to be addressed. Gone are those days where we thought, okay, fine, every classroom will have 40 or 50 students. Definitely 50 students will be above achievers, another 30 will be moderate, and 20 will be always below achievers. It's fine if they write the exams and pass that 35 percentage or 50 percentage of mark. But today, that's not
மியூட்ல தான் இருக்குடா.
imbibing knowledge is not enough. It has to be resulting in skill enhancement, in creating new knowledge. Only then their life will be more enhancing in the world that we live today. Next point is globalization and diverse learning needs. Today, if you find all over the world our students are learning, you can see we live in a global village. Because of this technological development, students go abroad to every country studying, okay, pursuing higher education. Now, to understand the context of cultural context of the people, okay, or to understand the cultural educational context, to understand the need of the learners in different cultural contexts. So therefore, we need a shift from the old method to a new enhancing method, where it suits, where every learner is comfortable, where every learner's individual difference is addressed, their needs are addressed. You and I know very well, maybe some of your daughters and children are studying abroad, and there are students from other countries are being come here to pursue higher education. So there's a lot of exchange of new knowledge. We live in a knowledge explosive era, where at every 11 seconds a new knowledge is being explored. This is being proved time and again, the data show. So therefore, it's time for us that we shift over, and the type of learners and the kind of learners that we have, their needs to be addressed. So therefore, these are some of the factors. There are a number of other factors, but these are the key factors. Those drive, okay, those demand a shift in the teaching method. Now, the paradigm shift, where is the paradigm shifting from? This is very essential. The paradigm shift is from teacher-centered teaching to student-centered teaching. I remember Dr. Swami Vivekananda's, he says, what is education? Education is already, it's a divine perfection that already exists in man and woman, okay, or every learner. Education is a divine perfection that already exists in man. So therefore, one may question, if already, that kind of education, that knowledge already exists in every child, what is the need of or what is the need of a child coming to the school or to a higher education, or what is the role of a teacher? The knowledge exists, but it is our role is to facilitate, to enable the students to bring, to share, to realize that embodiment of knowledge to everything that he has in the classroom environment and in the higher education, so that he or she prepares himself, so that tomorrow when he gets into the society, he will be an enhancing or efficacy or efficient worker or an employer. So therefore, today we do not consider where teacher is embodiment of knowledge. Sorry, we are only facilitator. The focus should be on the student. So student centered learning refers to enhancing, providing amicable atmosphere, providing learning materials, resources accordingly, and addressing every individual learner's needs in the learning arena, in the learning center. Okay, so therefore, our focus is to facilitate. We have got a responsibility. That is why it's called teaching job is a noble job, okay, without counting the cost of it, the time pressure. We need to plan. If I'm going to getting into my classroom where I've got 47 or 53 students, and there are 10 students who find it very difficult, okay, I need to address them, okay, I need to plan them for remedial teaching. How do I simplify my content matter so that he or she imbibes it? Imbibing is not enough. That has to be resulting in skill aspect or proficiency aspect. It has to be put into practice, and he or she needs to utilize that in her career advancement. So that is very important. From passive environment to active learning environment. So when we check, traditional methodology only enhances the learners as passive listener. Okay, the teacher teaches or teacher discusses or writes it on the board. We just listen, most of, and psychologically the span of attention is just 10 to 15 minutes. But then the 40 minutes class only, if you are only going to be prolonging with chalk and talk method, the students get bored. Okay, they become very passive. Now our duty to move this passive environment to active learning environment, where we get everyone, every child in the classroom involved in learning. That we need to do it by organizing activities. I may address another 20 minutes, 15 minutes you address, another 25 minutes, another 15 minutes you group the students in small groups of 4 to 5. Okay, let them discuss. Okay, what you give them, prepare the questions, give to them for discussion, and the last 10 minutes let them come from each group, come and report what they have learned or group discussed in the group based on the content that you are teaching. So that kind of environment you need to provide. Okay, today we are with the digital era. Okay, so you need to have a good library, very effective library, language um, library. You may have, physical, or be it any discipline that you teach, you should have resources, adequate resources. Those would enhance and instill motivation to the students to get, okay, as part of, to get involved as an effective learners. The third thing is from transfer of knowledge to creation of new knowledge. Okay, all this time, okay, I'm satisfied if my students get, the knowledge, that is fine. The ideology has changed. That used to be the ideology of, what is the teaching profession. Teaching profession is to help the students to imbibe all the content knowledge, be it maths, physics, chemistry, nanotechnology, whatever may be. But we cannot be satisfied. Today the world demands, the society demands, the job opportunity demands the learners to have, who can create new knowledge using the previous knowledge what they have gained. The gained knowledge has to be put into applicable, oriented. So therefore creation of new knowledge is very, very important. So that is why the paradigm shift. Then standardized competencies to customized creative individuality. You cannot just, as I have said, okay, have a set rule or a standard for the students, both in school education or higher education. Teacher, professor, or an educator or a faculty needs to address every individual learner's need in the classroom, because it is an inclusive education. You have got different types of students coming into a classroom, different kinds of students. So therefore some are audio learners, some are visual learners, some are kinesthetic learners, some are slow learners, some are average, some are above achievers. So everyone's need has to be addressed, and the teacher needs to plan her teaching methods or strategies or techniques accordingly. So therefore there is a shift is required from imbibing information to exhibiting values, skills, and competencies. Okay, and the national education policy, be it 1976, 1986, or 2020, all this national education policies focus on, skill orientation and competency orientations. It is not enough, friends, you are aware of it. Every year, hundreds and thousands of engineering college students come out of their engineering college with a beautiful certificates of completion, successfully completing their engineering, 4 years of engineering. But the data, the research has been proved, the data are available, you can check it. Only 40% of engineering students are employable. Although employability is available, only 40% of the students are employable. What about 60%? 60% of the students, although have the certificate, but they are not employable, because they do have certificates, they have imbibed knowledge, but they lack in their skills and competencies in creating or putting into practice or exhibiting in practical aspect. So therefore, where is the rift that's lying? Okay, the underlying demand is every classroom every classroom, and the students come out of that 40 minutes or 35 minutes class or 1 hour of class, a child should have imbibed skills and competencies. That is why, Stephen Krashan would say, if the entry level of students knowledge is I, when he finishes a particular concept, then his knowledge should be I plus 1. Okay, that one should be reflecting or resulting in skills competencies, skill oriented enabilities and competencies. So therefore, the shift is in need today. Okay, now if that is so, what are the modern approaches that needs to be introduced or implemented in the real classroom, both in school education or in higher education? The first thing is personalized learning. This is the demand of every child in our classroom. Every child comes and says, no, okay, I do not learn the way that somebody learns. I need it. I have a different learning style. I have a different learning needs. And my friend does not have the same learning need or a style as that I have. I'm reminded of. This also comes from the basic ideology comes from Swami Vivekananda, but the quote is from one of the famous English linguist, who says, if the learners do not learn the way you teach, then teach the way the learners learn. If the learners do not learn the way you teach, then teach the way the learners learn. We are here to address, okay, to change, to modify according to the need of the student, to suit every child's need, because they do not learn in the same way as that of someone, because their emotional level is different, their cognitive level is different, their psychomotor ability is different, their physical ability is different. So therefore, what is best would be personalized learning, which focuses on customized learning for each student's strength. You need to really tailor, teaching methodology or teaching strategies or teaching method to suit every individual student's, okay, strength and weakness. I won't call it as weakness. Okay, strength. Okay, the strength has a degree. Clear? So this is a scale, so I have to teach accordingly. So you a teacher or an assistant professor or a faculty needs to be jack of all trade, a person who is highly creative. Only then we can survive today with the students who come already with an exhaustive knowledge, because of this e-gadgets, because of the exposure that they have uh, with the blessings or of internet. Okay, if not for the internet, but we cannot live today. The students cannot, unless they use it. Today students are used with, interactive board, smart board. So therefore it is very, very important where these personalized learning demands. Okay, and the next thing is need. Okay, student strengths, needs, their skills, okay, and interest. So therefore a teacher needs to plan her methods to suit the personalized learning of the learner. You also, the second one is gamification of learning. Now this games really, induce interest in every student. I do not advocate, when you say gamification, it's a games played using video games or internet. No, you can plan a number of games, a number of aspects. Even if you're teaching maths, for example, you can say two twos are four. Come on, okay, I would call everyone stands or everyone sits. Okay, when I call two, first row two will get up, second row two twos are four. Okay, six eights are. So you have, I want all the six from on my left and eights on my right to jump, okay, and come and take this flower from me. I mean, I'm just saying, or creating a game. So teachers need to create, introduce the learning, facilitate the learning through introducing games. Those enable the students to get motivated, get interested, so that they do not feel bored. Look at this, the applications of game related machines, including ladder boards, patches, pawns, levels, all this. Okay, they initiate, learning aspects. These initiatives can be applied to any learning situations. Clear, outside the classrooms, inside the classrooms, during remedial teaching, during break. Once you introduce, the students will pick it up and they start playing. I remember when we were young, in primary schools or middle schools, number of games were introduced to us in to learn, to remember names, to remember mathematical concepts, things like that. So therefore, gamification is very very important, where it gets involved all the students very actively. Even the slow learners or below average learners, or students who feel shy, who do not come out, now gradually when they see the students, their classmates or peer group getting involved in the teaching learning process, they also will be moved to get into, they come out of their shyness or their inferiority complex. Or students coming, first generation learners, single students hailing from single parent, or whatever economical or social peripheral line they come from. I think in the gamification or the felicitation, teaching learning progress enhanced with the game, will definitely result in students confident level. So therefore this is very very important. The next one is inquiry based learning. What is this inquiry based learning? And normally what we do, we teach, we inform. We'll say any student asks the questions in between, say, hey, hold on, okay, you can ask the questions at the end of my lecture or my class. That should not be, because students will lose interest, or he or she may forget. Now what is an inquiry based learning? Asking questions, allowing students to ask why, how, where, when. Not simply giving them ask why, when, where, how. You need to also provide you can give okay, the inquiry based. By questioning, they learn a lot of things. A learner centered teaching, this is a learner centered approach that encourages students to ask questions, investigate, and explore new ideas. For example, suppose if I want my students to speak language, I would say, okay, I'm giving you a clue. The clue is, okay, 25 years, a teacher, I write it on the board, 25 years, a ring, eloped, sari. Yeah, I have given 4 or 5 clues, and I say, and I narrate a very short anecdote. For example, a man gets into the train at Central Railway Station in Chennai, and when he reaches, say, Avadi or Arakonam, the man finds a lady seated with the clouds, and there was no one except for the lady. When the train reaches Bangalore, okay, the police find the lady had been killed. The police arrest the man. After a few days of interrogation, the police let the man free. Why? The story is just 2 to 3 lines. Now I tell them I've given clue. Now you find out. Ask questions in groups. Okay, what is this? Did the lady wear a ring? Okay, was she buried? Okay, there is a clue on buried. What is this 25 year and eloped? So therefore they try to connect, okay, with the clue and the questions to find an answer. So it is known as inquiry based learning, where you pose a number of questions, you give it a riddle or a puzzle, which becomes where everybody becomes actively learning. Everybody wants to learn, and especially it works wonders in both school education and in any higher education field, be it education, be it multidisciplinary, or in technical institutions. It works wonder. Okay, inquiry based learning is different from traditional method because it's reverse. As I started, it starts with questioning. You put a question, then you give a problem, and then you present the information to find remedies or solution. The process is very interesting. Okay, this process enables every learner to be actively participated, and they find new solutions. Okay, they create, they imagine. Okay, Okay, they put in number of questions, they pull ideas to find and to learn. So it becomes a rich experience. Learning becomes a real experience. The next one is active learning. That is very important. Now, any active learning classroom would be a chaotic. Let it be. I've learned through this from my experience. I began with teacher of standard one. Then I went on to fifth standard. I taught. Then I taught eighth standard students. I taught 10th. I became a principal. But I taught 10th, 11th, 12th. I always taught. And when I began, for standard or fifth standard, students used to be very noisy. I used to say, hey, keep quiet, keep quiet. But then, yeah, if a child keeps quiet in the classroom, then you do not facilitate learning, or rather you arrest his creative thinking, creative ability. So therefore, active classroom, give that first 10 minutes. Okay, get every child involved in active learning by giving a game or a puzzle or conducting a small game, or look at this picture as she sits. Okay, then the teacher facilitates. You go around facilitating. Okay, divide them into groups, let them work in groups. Okay, where no child is left. You can group them, average achievers, average learners, and below average learners put together, so that even below average learners, because when they learn with peer group, they get interested, they get motivated, they come out of their shell, and they bounce back, and they become part with others. So that is the reason, you active learning is very important. We, the teacher, we need to plan every day. Some activity, it does not take much time, months time or a year's time. It only takes a few seconds to think. If you read a newspaper, start thinking of you're reading a novel, or how do I incorporate such ideology in my teaching learning process, so that the children are actively participating, and where you can facilitate the learning in a very joyful learning outcome. So this active learning is a strategy that involves students actively participating in the learning process. Very, very important. Okay, they are not wasting. It's which suggests that learners learn by connecting new ideas to what they already know. So active learning, because if one does not know, suppose if there are three students sitting in the group, if one doesn't know, other two will definitely, hey, do you remember, this is an answer, come on, work. You have not started, please take it. Okay, this is how you need to work. They become teachers, like each one teach one, because the students already come with a lot of previous knowledge, and pure learning is very, very effective than we teaching. So therefore, active learning is very, very important, where you plan your activities beforehand. You divide this classroom into small groups, and you give them, you volunteer students. Okay, students will volunteer. Okay, they'll join this group, different activities for different groups. It only takes few minutes to think and organize. So therefore, where you get every child, every students here actively participating, and the learning outcome is phenomenal. So just the third one is blended learning, where that's what is happening. Okay, you blend online applications, learning tools with a traditional classroom learning. Okay, you blend, you bridge the gap. For example, one child is sick, of some students do not come to the classroom. Okay, you record your classroom, a lecture or your activity, and you post it. Okay, you upload it. Children, those who are not able to come, can watch it. Okay, you can use both classroom lecture method, online applications. So according to Indian Society for Technical Education, blended learning, often referred as hybrid learning, where you blend together. Okay, you blend both traditional classroom and the online aspects, combine digital or online learning material and activities with traditional face-to-face classroom methods. So we can do this now. Slowly we are doing it ever since the COVID-19 2019 happened. Okay, we all woke up. Okay, at least now we'll go on for blended learning, so that it suits It's not enough. Every day there is something has to be introduced to them. Only then the learners in our classroom uh, will be alive, will be active, and the thought process or the facilitation process will definitely result in skill development and competencies. Number of competencies the learners need to develop, it will reflect in. The next thing is flipped learning. Now, flipped learning is unlike like traditional learning. Here in the traditional classroom, we give the teacher shares the information, then we give questions, then the students work. Whereas in flipped learning, the teacher already divides the units or learning content to the students, assigns questions, and the students learn at home. Okay, students learn a subject at home before the class, then use the learned knowledge in the class for to create a project for discussion or other activities. So this is known as flipped learning, but teacher has to be very cautiously planning very systematically the learning content, distributing the questions accordingly, giving the reference material needs to be given to them, and this is found to be very very effective where number of places where you find drought of teachers. I remember in one of the universities in UP, they introduced this flipped learning because the professors were very less in one of the government colleges, and their results were very phenomenal, very effective. So this has been found time and again researched, and it is found flipped learning is one of the most effective learning where a lot of creative ideas or pooling of ideas are put together to maximize everyone's learning. Now, these projects are often interactive. When you introduce this flipped learning, they are more of interactive because they go through the reference before they come. If they have any doubt, the students themselves will get into online discussions, collaborative activities. Okay, very responsibly they distribute the learning material or activity or a project, and they apply the knowledge clear designed to apply the knowledge students gain during the independent study. So each one, it is units are divided into groups. Okay, in the group, even if there are 5 students, each one get a subtopic and they go through very systematically, thoroughly, with reference, with number of questions. When they come and share other students, okay, so it is an in-depth study, so the other students benefited, they share it with the others. So each student, each one in the group gets a chance to share the new knowledge, to share the gained knowledge. So it becomes very effective. Even number of points, okay, I did not see it, okay, you have referred it, oh, this is a good point, very relevant point, very valid point. So therefore the learning becomes highly effective where 100% of involvement of the students take place in the flipped learning. Next is problem based learning or solving, right? Inquiry based learning, you can call it, right? It's learning uses complex real world issues at the classrooms as subject matter. Okay, you take a problem based learning focuses on where the students are given a real life situation, okay, problem that has been addressed that the society faces today. Okay, for example, why are the prices hiking today? Okay, a tomato kilo for 10 or 20, today it's 100 rupees. A rice that was sold for 10 rupees, 15 rupees, today 100 rupees or 80 rupees. What are the reasons? Okay, so slowly every group students will start. Okay, now I mean, I may think in one aspect, every student will, so all the 40 will come up with 40 different solutions and answers, and you can address the need, address the problem behind these hike in prices or whatever. I'm just giving you an example so that whatever problem in reality, the students, what happens, they they absorb because they listen, they must have heard, because they're good at, right, they have got smartphone in their hand, they hear, they interact with people, they visit other places, they may visit markets and go to different places. So they do have knowledge and they come up with ideas. Okay, so definitely there is a big difference between traditional learning and problem based learning. Here in traditional learning, students are told what they need to do, and students memorize the concepts. Problem is assigned to the students at the end. Okay, whether you may solve the problem, you may not solve the problem. Whereas in problem based inquiry learning, problem is assigned to the students first, and the students identify what they need to do by addressing every component of the problem. They segment, they break into small parts, and why is it happening, when is it happening, why so, okay, why doesn't it happen, okay, why is now, what is the reason. So the and students learn and apply. So therefore, in the discussions in group, the knowledge they gain by pooling their ideas and discussion or debates or interacting with people with competencies, or people who have got knowledge, they gain a lot of knowledge, and they are able to apply the gained knowledge to solve a problem in a particular concept or a content that they are learning, with them, or they are pursuing. So therefore, problem based learning is very very important. It is one of the latest method that's been. Next is team based learning. Now, there's a big difference from team-based learning and group discussion. We can see TLP is a structure for group learning that emphasizes students' preparation out of class and application of knowledge in the class. As flipped learning, problems, okay, the learning concepts are divided and given to different students in groups. Before they get into the classroom, before they come to the classroom, they learn, they discuss in group, they learn with the help of their parents, with the help of the reference books, newspaper, whatever resource materials they have. They go through, they have an in-depth knowledge, and they come and share it in the group, and one member from the group come and report it. So therefore, and the team based, okay, learning is very much here. It is different from in group work. Every member in the group contributes something, whereas in team based learning, they contributed with responsibility. Each one has to learn, it has to share, and they give it. So that's the difference. Mangan already have gave me a signal, it's time, but there is another 2 slides. I'll just go it. Okay, this mnemonics. This is another method to associate, where in order to remember number of concepts, we can use this, like Richard of York gave Battling just to remember the spectrum colors. WebGR, you can remember. So I gave it, okay, 1 is a band, 2 is a shoe, 3 is a tree, things like that. You can also have this mnemonics, okay, abbreviations or acronyms, so that they put together it easy for students to remember a concept or a theorem, things like that. So this is another, you can introduce it, especially for school level. It's very very helpful. The role of technology, okay, why the shift? Very well, we live in a digital era, so online platform learnings. You have got LMS and the AI tutor is there. You have got augmented reality. We are all connected with virtual reality and with augmented reality. Augmented reality is nothing, okay, the real aspect of the world can be connected using the computer through internet. So where learner, it emphasizes, it enhances learners. At the click of the mouse, they can learn. You have got MOOC, massive open online course. Students also would be encouraged to decide, okay, or you can introduce, instead of teaching from regular discipline, you can introduce, you can teach, you can also be a resource person at MOOC or Coursera, edX, things like that. Provides number of courses, okay, short time course and long time course. The role of technology in the shift, why you need to have that shift, is this is the reason. We live in a digital era, so therefore the demand is very high towards the digital learning. So collaborative platforms are available, like tools like Google Classroom, Microsoft. They're used for communication, file sharing and collaboration among students. Students themselves, one student, another student, one group of students, one class of students can share with other group of students, and their materials can be shared. Learning management system, okay, all the software applications, online tools, online applications are available today. Okay, number of Moodle, Blackboard, Canva. Okay, you have got number of things. I've only put few. I knew it was time. So features of LMS also could be used like applications, quizy for discussions, assignments, AI tutors. Okay, if you're bored, you can click on the tutor will. Okay, you have got AI tutors in a teacher in India, elsewhere. You have got a lecturer, AI lecturer in the bank. It works. Okay, every field you have got clear. So even it is all focuses on personalized learning. That is a big significance aspect of it. A child can learn at any time, anywhere, according to his own space. So they can also adopt individuals student needs by assessing their strength and weakness. Evaluations can be done, students ability can be assessed. Okay, teacher can also plan based on their performance. You can also change, okay, using these aspects, provide instant feedback. Okay, you have got Squirrel AI, okay, Carnegie. These two are okay. Okay, it may look new, but it is already for 25 years people are using. Now, what do these do to Squirrel AI? Okay, artificial intelligence and Carnage. Um, the Chinese introduced, and they're very popular with them in the schools. Now, for example, if you're a student, or if you're teaching in a middle school, now Squirrel AI and Carnegie AI, what do? They break the learning concept into 10,000 points. Okay, and the learning becomes so each aspect is learned in a very meticulous way, breaking down the learning concept like micro teaching. You break the macro into small concepts and you learn it in order to imbibe skills, in order to imbibe competency over the concept. Okay, so we discussed the paradigm shift is needed in order to imbibe students or develop students with relevant skills, with relevant attitude, and with relevant knowledge for their future life as a member of effective member of a society. Questions you may ask me.
Participants, if you have any questions, you can just post it in the chat box if you're not able to unmute yourself.
Hi, ma'am.
Yes, it's sir.
Yeah. So first of all, it was a great program. So I would like to thank all the faculty members, delegates, and the participants. So I have a small question.
Yes,
So
sir.
we spoke about all blended learning, hybrid learning, AI tools, everything we have spoke. And
Yeah,
nowadays we are facing a challenge. Nowadays, these 21st children are
yeah, yes,
taught
sir.
by 20th teachers in a 19th
Yeah,
centuries of classrooms.
yeah,
Okay, and they
true.
are more advanced of knowing things. And
Okay.
how we can correlate with the virtual learning, ma'am? Because see nowadays it is taking a very important decisions in education system. No usage of classrooms, blackboards. Now people students are becoming more well versed in virtual learnings. So how this is going to relate to the faculty members in the future, ma'am? How it
Uh,
is going to support?
Actually, you did answer as you questioned me, sir. Um, we need to learn. A teaching community should be a learning community. Learning is lifelong learning. That's why I said shift. We thought we have gained knowledge. We are efficient people, and we give it. It's wrong. Students already come with, as Bloom says, they come with already previous knowledge, and we need to. That way, we are no more teachers. We are only facilitators. We provide even an atmosphere, teaching resources, enable them to learn, and in the in the bargain, we need to be learners. I said I learned because when I was introduced, because of this COVID or before, right? We were introduced when I entered this teaching profession in education, okay, college. Only then I was introduced to, with interactive board. I was trained. We were sent how to use an interactive board to Loyola College Arts and Science. Okay, we attended number of meetings, seminars. So it is. I was already a teacher. Now, where else? the arts and science students, they already knew how to use an interactive board, or students who came for B.Ed, they knew how to introduce. So you are going to be a teacher, so you need to be educated. So that is why there is called seminars, workshop, in service program. We need to be a learner constantly. We need to learn, and it's a big challenge, as you say. Okay, we are all immigrants, it becomes big challenge, and some of us are not ready for it. Okay, that's why you are asking. Maybe some of us are ready, but the demand is we need to, but we cannot. If you say no, then we will not be fit for this classroom today. We will not be an effective teachers. So therefore we need to educate ourselves, sir. Yes, sir. I hope I
Yeah.
answered your question.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I got. And do we really think that this AI is going to replace the teachers, and how?
No. Definitely, a teacher's physical presence cannot be replaced, sir. See, AI cannot, understand the emotional status of a student. A child comes, maybe parents fought, previous night. The child without sleep comes to the classroom. He sleeps, or he is sad. He doesn't do the assignment, or
Ma'am, this,
child with
the,
single
yeah,
parents. Therefore, your AI will not understand. It is the teacher we will understand. Okay, discuss with them what is wrong with you. Okay, fine.
no,
Call parents and talk. So, teachers' place will never be replaced by AI, sir. Yeah.
ma'am, actually, recently an article says that Japanese has found the robot with the help of AI that can read the students' facial expression and understand what the problem currently the student is facing.
Sir, why do you go to Japan? We have it in India, right? You do have an AA teacher that talks. You had this film, right? Zero to, I do not know. You had, what is that film with Rajini and company? You
No,
had.
that is, yeah, it was a movie,
That was
but
a fiction.
it has come to reality now.
That's what I'm saying. It is okay. Where, uh, but you cannot replace that. Cannot, it will not reach to the entire segments of the society. Okay, to a certain extent, but you cannot guarantee that would be, because if the electricity goes off, and that is boon. I was just praying all along. Hope the electricity doesn't go, because so many of us are connected. So if there is no electricity, if there is a pocket, if there is no internet facility, your AI has no place. So that is another thing we need to keep in mind.
Maybe teachers may not cannot be replaced, but the manpower can be reduced because of AI.
Yeah. No, but in the education, yeah, maybe in the long run, okay, in years to come.
Yeah, yeah, ma'am. Yeah,
Thank
thank you,
you.
ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And
Thank you so much.
special thanks to Dr. Mangai ma'am also for this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you,
sister.
ma'am.
Yes. Shall we go for the vote of thanks? Gratitude is the fierce blossom that blossoms in our heart. First and foremost, I thank the Lord Almighty for showering His choicest blessings upon us. I thank the resource person wholeheartedly. I express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Sister M. Irde Mary, Assistant Professor of English from Stella College of Education, for throwing light on teaching method, a paradigm shift. Thank you so much, sister, for explaining in detail the transition, how the transition has happened from teacher centered teaching to student centered learning, and sharing your insights on how a teacher must address the diverse needs of a learner in an inclusive classroom. I assure you that the teachers will adapt to the demands of the 21st century learners with the necessary skills and competencies. Thank you for orienting us on the national education policies and the necessity to create skilled workforce. Thank you, sister Dr. M. Irde Mary, for contributing your knowledge. Thank you once again.